Okie dokie. The person that chose to send this to me also chose to remain anonymous, so thank you for the opportunity to review this product. You know who you are, and I'm sure you're watching this video now. We're going to use the edge of this Dremel tool. I will be sending this unit back. This is not mine. This is the Fanatec CSL Elite steering wheel WRC version. Now this is specifically branded for Xbox, but this will work for, you know, PC and PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 as well. Okay. So first impressions on the weight. It's a relatively lightweight wheel. Feels good. The owner of this did switch out the hub. Typically it'd be a plastic ring that would kind of clamp down like the more you screw it. But this is actually a Club Sport attachment here. So if you do end up buying a Club Sport quick release for this wheel, please note that the screws that are provided with this kit are too long, and that it'll actually push down on these paddles here if you thread it all the way in with the provided screws. So you're either gonna have to go to the hardware store and get 2 shorter screws, or just have some on hand, of course. That'd be the best, right? I'm not really sure what screw length comes with the original quick release, but those might be better suited to use in the far right and far left positions. But for now, I gave the anonymous owner of this some of my shorter screws, so he'll just be good to go as soon as he gets this. The buttons feel similar to like maybe like a PS4 controller, like how they're kind of soft and a bit spongy, but you can still clearly feel when you press the button. They do include a directional pad here, like in the form of an analog stick, but it's not really an analog stick, it's just a 4-way. And you can press down on it as well. You cannot rotate it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So a total of 20 buttons on this wheel here. The grip, it feels really nice actually. The sort of Alcantara stuff, like it feels really nice in your hands. The paddles, they have a little bit of a sharpness to them, honestly. It doesn't feel like the edges were rounded off. These are just cut, you know, pieces of you know, sheets of steel, just cut out. But it doesn't feel like they spent a lot of time actually rounding that edge off. It's odd. I don't know if these bolts here, or screws rather, actually would allow you to mount something else to this. I don't think that they would, but it is nice looking. And then right here will be where the LED display is, you know, for what gear you're in, or the tuning menu and whatnot. I felt like they could have done without this whole tire mark thing. I think it's a little bit childish looking. No offense to people that like this design, but I think, you know, if they would have just left it at that, just the WRC logo, and, you know, maybe just, yeah, you just kept the orange stitching, that's fine. You know, like a little bit flashy is cool, but I don't know, that little screen printing just seems like a little bit too much. Now we're going to test it out in game, see what it feels like. And honestly, what better game to test it with than WRC 9? If my wheel isn't matching up to what's on screen, it's because what you're seeing is not what I'm playing right there in the moment. And I apologize, but I just can't. Just something happens every single time I try to get this footage. So I'm just gonna try to get some footage just so you can watch something while I'm talking about this. Okay, sorry about that. Enjoy. I have it set for about 60% of the force feedback available of the 10 Newton meters for the podium. And I feel like this is the perfect level for it. Like, I don't feel like I'm lacking anywhere. This is about the same amount of force that a CSL Elite can produce. So that's nice to kind of pretend I'm using the CSL Elite right now. Try to replicate that experience. That was awkward. One thing I don't like about this wheel is the plastic center top thing, you know, the display, I feel like they should have put it in the central part of the wheel rather than like on the rim. And maybe it was just easier to manufacture. I don't know the thought process behind that, but or maybe just like marketing, like, hey, you can see what you're doing as long as your car's going straight, you know? Because honestly, it's moving around like a ton anyway. Like, you're not really it's not a large enough display to where you can just glance down confidently and see it every time. It is still a nice feature to have, but I don't feel like I'm using. I feel like it's more of a distraction than anything. The paddle shifters do feel really good. I'm not using it to shift, but I can feel what they would feel like in game, and they feel good. Yeah, the size of the wheel feels like, yeah, it's just a little bit easier to flick the car around, being, you know, 300 millimeters as opposed to 320, which is what I'm used to. Both normally in sim racing and on my real car. I could see someone being very happy with this purchase. I don't feel like it's lacking, and it doesn't feel like flexy at all. Like it just feels like it should. Like it doesn't feel like flimsy. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels just as solid as my BMW wheel does while I'm using it, you know? It feels even, actually, honestly, it feels a little bit better being that it's a round wheel. Okay. That wasn't my best lap here, but the grip is comfortable. Like they give you ample room in the back of the wheel here for your fingers to like rest. Unless you got like really long fingers, I don't think that'll be a problem. I'm not a huge fan of the dish of the wheel. Like it feels like a really flat wheel. Yeah, the paddle shifters still are kind of far away for my liking. I would like them to be out another inch or so. They're so quiet and so they feel very responsive. Like the click, it almost feels like a magnetic connection rather than like a spring. The buttons all feel responsive. They feel a little bit spongier than I would like, but this is intended for console users. Honestly, like I haven't felt a controller with buttons superior to this. So the directional pad is very tactile. You can feel the click. Other than the fact that it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to update everything before this works at all with you know, your chosen wheelbase. If I were looking for a first wheel that'd be good at everything, a very versatile wheel, you know, you can use it with F1, rally, drifting, whatever. This would be my choice. Yeah, especially like if you're on a tighter budget, this has everything you need to get going in sim racing. You know, you can shift manually. You have plenty of buttons to map to do whatever you want it to do. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.